Boy, oh boy, do I love it up here. It sure is fantastic. You might even say that this plateau is a great plateau. Well, hello there, and thank you for joining me for yet another ranking video in Tears of the Kingdom.
Everybody hold hands and get ready to cry.
I know I said in my last Tears of the Kingdom ranking video that that was gonna be the last one, but I was wrong. Okay, I mean, okay, what did I expect? Because I made a list about the armor sets. What did I just think that I was gonna not make one about the rest of the armor that weren't in sets? What am I, an idiot? Yes. The answer is yes to that.
That we know.
So if you joined me for my last ranking list, then you know what this is gonna be all about. It's ranking goofiness. I'm ranking the goofiness of individual armor pieces that are not in sets. If you're curious about the pieces of the armor that come in sets, then go find that video. I'm gonna link it, so it should be super easy to do. So, I do want to say that I'm going to be I got distracted by fighting this guy and I just threw him off a cliff. Let me see if I can find the stuff. I want my money. Where's my money? I got 1 green rupee. What?
What a ripoff.
Oh, there it is. Okay, good. I do want to say that I'm going to be using the same tiers that I used in the last ranking list, so I'm just going to throw in the clip where I explained it all because why would I re-explain it? Why work harder when you can work smarter? So at the bottom we have not at all goofy. This outfit is not at all goofy. It's serious, it makes him look cool, it doesn't make him look funky at all. Next up in the C tier we have a little goofy. Just a little bit. Not a whole lot, just a teeny bit. Then next up we have kinda goofy. Could be worse, could be better. Next up in the A tier we have very goofy. And then at the very top in the S tier we have, oh yuck. this S tier I am reserving for the peak goofiness. The goofiest of the goofy. I'm not gonna be putting a lot of armor sets in this tier, I'm talking 1 or 2 max that I can think of off the top of my head. You know, you have to be supremely goofy to get into this top tier. There is one note I do need to make here, which is I did add the super cereal tier in the very bottom.
I'm super cereal.
It's the most serious tier. I added that mid-video in the last ranking list, so I didn't explain that one. Last time only 1 armor set made it into the super serial tier, so it's not an easy category to get into. For me, it's not just that it doesn't make Link look goofy, it's that it also makes him look in some way official and cool. It makes him look super serial. What? Man, the Great Plateau is just crawling with Yiga Clan people, huh? That's wild. Come here. Don't run away from me. Hey! Did you hear what I said? I said don't run away from me, and then you ran away from me.
Rude.
But beyond that, there really isn't much more I need to explain. So, with that in mind, let's get started. Starting off strong, we have the archaic warm greaves. Do love me a good pair of pants. And on top of that, I think they're just pretty cool. They look exactly as they are described. Like they are exactly an archaic pair of pants that keep you warm. That's what they look like.
They do. They sure do.
I don't know, I think they are just a pretty sweet pair of pants, man. I don't know. I like them. I think they're neat. And I think they're not goofy at all. So let's put them there. Not goofy at all category. Next up, we have the sand boots. The sand boots I really like from the knees up. I think they're pretty normal looking pants. My problem is the knees down. It looks like sandals with mummy wrapping underneath. And while I'm sure that's probably based in some kind of fact that I'm not aware of, I don't like it. That being said, it's not really all that goofy, honestly. It's just on the very, very edge of a little goofy. I honestly think if it was just one color instead of the wrapping, it would look less silly to me. Oop, Link's getting warm. So, yeah, it's just a little goofy. Very, very slightly goofy.
Only slightly. Only slightly.
And of course, we can't be surprised that up next is going to be the snow boots. The sand boots' cooler older cousin. That's right, I think these are cooler. I just think they look cooler. I certainly think the metal spikes help a lot in that. If you want to make something look cooler and not as goofy, metal spikes can be a great way to achieve that goal. And by the way, I do know that there's a real name for those metal spikes, but that word escapes me at the moment. Editor me will come in with the word. Editor me is so much smarter than regular me.
She's a friggin' genius!
So yeah, not only are the snow boots incredibly helpful, but I think they also look pretty cool, and I don't think they make him look goofy at all. So, it's a not at all goofy. They're a pretty solid set of pants. Ravio's hood is a favorite of mine. I've played A Link Between Worlds, so I know who Ravio is and his whole backstory. I'm not gonna say it because I don't know, if people know it and if they want to play the game or whatnot. Ravio is a character in A Link Between Worlds, and he's a funny guy. He's kind of a silly dude. There's more to him than that, but that's all I can really reveal at the moment. And he wears this hood. And it certainly is a hood, that's for sure.
It sure is.
I feel like it's meant to look goofy. I honestly do. I think it's meant to look silly and goofy and harmless. It's meant to make you trust the wearer, in my opinion. I think it's goofy, but in a very cute way. I'm not saying it's bad that it's goofy. I love it. I'm putting it in very goofy with the understanding that people know that I do that with love in my heart and joy in my soul. Look how happy he is under there. Those bunny ears, they flop so majestically, I can't imagine that you could say they're anything but goofy. They're beautiful. Beautiful in their goofiness.
Truly wonderful.
The Island Lobster shirt is a personal favorite of mine. I think it's so cute. It's a Wind Waker reference, and that is one of the cuter Links. It's Toon Link, so obviously it's adorable. Now this does have the same problem as the Tunic of the Wind has, and the Tunic of Awakening, now that I'm thinking about it, but the Tunic of Awakening has other problems going for it. But it does have the same issue of making Link look kind of, well, scrawny. It makes him look kind of weak, in a sense. But I think it works for him here. The reason I think it works for him here is that the Island Lobster shirt is just a shirt on its own. It's not in an armor set, so there's not any implication that it's kind of supposed to be part of a set that's supposed to keep him safe or supposed to lead him into battle, like all of his other armor sets kind of do. This is pure island vibe right here. This one is Vacation Link. And that's why I love it so much. It feels like this is his most relaxed shirt he has in the entire game. If we look at all of the other shirts that he has to wear in this game, the only one that comes close to being as relaxed is the Tunic of the Wind, but even that has a belt. It's got a belt. Who wants to have a belt on vacation?
Not me.
This is the way to go, y'all. This is the closest he'll get to pajamas. Maybe the Archaic Tunic. I will give the Archaic Tunic, it does look quite loose and flowing and free, but it also looks kind of complicated to put on. And that's not vacation vibes either. Island Lobster shirt is just the most relaxed we're gonna get Link, and that makes me so happy. So I think that's why I don't see it as goofy, because it's Vacation Link, and that makes it have different standards, honestly. If this was going into Battle Link, then I would say absolutely this looks goofy, but in my mind, this is not a battle gear. So for that reason, I'm putting it not goofy at all. Whether or not you agree, well, you can't talk back to me because I can't hear you.
What?
Now we're on to a particularly fun section, the Divine Beast Helms. I gotta say right off the bat, if you are a Divine Beast Helm fan, well, brace yourself, because I'm not. I actually like a lot about these, but at the same time, there's a lot about them that I really don't like. course, there's the fact that they remind me of Breath of the Wild, and that's always fun. I always love a good reminder of Breath of the Wild.
Pointless nostalgia.
There's the Breath of the Wild shrine detailing on them that I think is really cool. I like a lot about it, but I just think it looks ridiculous while he's wearing it. Especially some more than others, this one being one of them. Look at how long that beak is on this bird head. It's just sticking right out in front of him. He can probably not see anything. I don't even know where the eye holes are on this bad boy, because it's not here. It's not these. I can tell you that right now, because Link has human eyes, not bird eyes. And that is bird eye orientation right there. Those are side of the head eyes. I am going to have to put this one in very goofy. It makes me laugh a lot. I think it's mostly the beak. It's just so very long, and it looks like a weird unicorn horn to go on top of the head feather unicorn horn. Amazing. Hilarious.
Hilarious.
Now, the Vanabora's helm, I actually think is a slightly less goofy. Don't ask me why, because I cannot articulate why. I just feel like it is. I feel like a lot of it is influenced by eye hole placement. You can see the eye holes. You can see where there would be in the face. I will say this one looks the least like the animal it's supposed to look like. It's supposed to be a camel, right? That's what Vanabora's was in Breath of the Wild. It was a camel. This does not look like a camel, but I can't particularly say that Vanabora's looked like a camel in the face looking back. It was mostly to do with the long legs and the humps. That's how I was able to tell it was a camel.
I'm really good at deductive reasoning.
I do think that this one is a little less goofy. I do think a lot of it has to do with this armor plating down the back. I think it actually looks kind of cool. I think it kind of makes him look like a bug, almost, but in a cool way and not in an Ogtha way. Oh, God. Ogtha, that's a deep fucking cut. Jesus. Ogtha.
What an obscure reference.
So I am gonna put the Vanabora's helm in kind of goofy instead of very goofy, but I want to do it with the note that it is on the high end of kind of goofy. It is just scraping by on kind of goofy. It is very lucky to have made it into kind of goofy. The Varuta helm is another one that I think is less goofy than the others. I think for this one it has a lot to do with the fact that it is just so distinctly elephant shaped that it makes it pretty cool. Honestly, it's just so recognizable that it's neat. Do I have a problem with the lack of eye holes? Yes, that is why it's not lower on the goofy list. That's why I'm still putting it in kinda goofy. Despite the fact that I think this would be my favorite out of them all. I still think kinda goofy is where it belongs. The Varudanya mask is the other one that I think is in the very goofy category. I think it's just hilarious. It is the most helmety of all of them, right? But it's just so funny shaped. His head is the shape of a hammer, and that's hilarious. And then on top of that, it's dome face hammerhead, hilarious. That's very goofy for me, y'all. That's all I gotta say on that one.
And that's that.
Is that now, Mrs. That's that?
The Korok mask is a personal favorite of mine, but I will say I do find it to be very goofy. When I can say that the back of his head is the least goofy part, and that's the part with a pinwheel sticking out of it, you know that means something. I do think a lot of the goofiness comes from the fact that it is such a unique face they gave this mask. How many eyes does it have exactly? Is it 2? Which ones are they? Is it the one big circular one and then the little circular one? Or is it the one big circular one and the kind of sad looking one underneath? And if so, what are the other 2?
Mysteries abound!
On top of that, it just has a Korok energy about it, which inherently makes it goofy, because that's what the Koroks are. They're goofy little motherfuckers. You can't tell me they're not when you see one walking by you right now. Look at him. Look at him being an absolute goofball. Could not have illustrated my point better. They are little tiny goofballs, and that's a good thing. You got me? That's a good thing.
It's a good thing.
Nothing is better than a little Korok being a little Korok doing little Korok things. Look at him. You see it? His look, turn around, my man. He does a little dance. He has his face mask, the thing that makes him have a face, stuck to his head with a little branch on his forehead. How silly is that? That's so silly. That's so goofy. And I feel like it would be a disservice to Koroks everywhere if I didn't put this in the very goofy category. That's where it belongs and that's where it will live. I don't think they'd have it any other way. If you agree, do a little jumpy dance. Oh, he shook his butt at me. What does that mean?
I fart in your general direction.
The lightning helm is an upsetting combination of really cool and very silly. There is something about Gerudo design that I just absolutely love. And I will say that, okay, this is when I have to make that distinction that I do know that this isn't the Thunder Helm that the Gerudo designed. It's not the Gerudo designed one, but the Yiga clan copied theirs, exactly. Also, the effect is the same, so for me, I just count them as the same thing. But this is the Lightning Helm, not the Thunder Helm. I do know the difference. And since they did just copy the Gerudo design, I'm still gonna say that it's Gerudo designed, right? Just because the Yiga clan technically made it doesn't mean they designed the look. This is very clearly Gerudo designed. For me, I think a lot of the goofiness ratings are impacted by functionality of the item, but not only how it functions. This item functionally is probably one of the best in the game, but also visually functional. And I'm gonna bring it back again to the eye holes. You can say, well, the jewels are the eye holes, but they're too far apart for one. Oh, dang. They're too far apart for one. And for two, they're very clearly jewels and nothing else. And I know what you're gonna say, by the way. You're gonna say, what about the Va Naboris Divine Helm? To which I say, very good point. Why do I see these as eye holes? I don't know. They look more human eye hole spaced, and they have that little center. Right in the center, you see it? That tells me that he can see out of them. Does that mean it's true? No, it doesn't at all. But that's my brain for you.
The inner machinations of my mind are an enigma.
And to me, I see no evidence that he can see out of this thing at all. And that's what makes it so goofy to me, is that it looks just so much like it's blocking every part of his vision. And that makes it hilarious. I put this under very goofy. And to me, I think it's just style over function, despite the fact that it functions very well at repelling lightning. It doesn't even repel it, like it just absorbs it or whatever. I don't even know. And I will say the fact that it's got lightning and what appear to be cloud theming in the thingy, I will say that's cool. It's very cool. But it's also very silly. He has a lightning halo. There is a significant chance that I'm going to offend some people with my Majora's Mask rating, and that's because I'm putting it in kinda goofy. I'm just getting that out there right now. It's kinda goofy. If you ask me, it's just kinda goofy.
Nobody asked you.
It is a purple heart-shaped mask with glowing yellow boob eyes and multicolored spikes sticking out the side and top of it. It's kinda goofy. Now, of course, I know that it's Majora's Mask, right? I know what this is because I've played Majora's Mask and I know the whole story behind it. And that is why it's only kind of goofy and not in a higher tier, because I know the story behind it and the backstory actually makes it less goofy. Because it's you know what Majora's Mask is, you know that it's pure evil, basically. It corrupted that poor Skull Kid for no reason other than to be a dick. And bring the moon down? Wild game. 10 out of 10, should play again. But, if I was being more objective, this would probably be a very goofy, maybe even a yuck. But, I can't be objective about Majora's Mask. I do think it's really cool. I just also think it's a little bit goofy. The heart shape definitely doesn't help. It doesn't help that it's both heart-shaped and also cleavage-shaped, right? It's cleavage-shaped and then it's got the boob eyes. The glowing red boob eyes. You hypnotize me with those glowing red boob eyes.
Listen, girls, he's hypnotized me with his glowing red eyes.
I made that joke in the last ranking video, but this time it's about boob eyes instead of just glowing red eyes. The next 5 on our list are the monster masks. We did the mask. We did the monster mask. The monster mask. It was a graveyard smash.
It caught on in a flash. He did the monster mash.
I'm so sorry. That was in there and it needed to get out immediately. I love the monster masks, and I love them exactly because they are as goofy as they are. Look at this thing. It is so goofy, and I love it. I love it so much. Not only is it very goofily made, with buttons for eyes and a big, stupid fucking smile on its face, but also, it makes him crouch like an actual bokoblin, and that's so funny. That makes me laugh so hard. And in fact, the behavior changes regardless. So if you're a moblin, ooh! Oh, he doesn't like it when I change it to a moblin. If you're a moblin, he changes his positioning too, though. And so I wanted to make that clear that, ooh, they're still coming for me. That's okay. I'm not too worried. That the positioning, their body language has so much to do with why I'm putting these 3 in the goofy category. The Moblin, the Liesel, and the Bokoblin masks are all going in the very goofy category. Look at that. Look at him crouch like that. Now, the Horriblin mask, on the other hand, this is going in the category, the very first one, because I tell you what, this is fucking hilarious.
I'll tell you what.
Look at this thing and look how it jiggles. I like the way you jiggle. The big dumb smile, the gigantic stupid nose, the dumb hair, it's all beautiful. Beautiful. His body language isn't as funny as some of the other ones, but it sure is made up for by the face and the teeth. Like, look at those teeth! Look at those teeth! The Horriblin mask definitely belongs in the yuck category, but the Lionel mask, on the other hand, I'm actually putting in the kinda goofy category instead of the very goofy category. I do think that is because it is the best looking of all of the monster masks. The eyes are even the most realistic. That's not the right word. The least offensive. They're the least offensive of all of the eyes. The buttons are still the wrong color and different sizes, but they're at least not enormous. That's something. This one looks the most like any of the monster that it's made after, and the body language is just phenomenal. Look at him square up. He is ready to go. I love it. It gets a kinda goofy from me instead of a very goofy. Midna's helmet is so cool on Midna. In my opinion, on Link, it's a little goofy. I'm not saying it's kind of goofy or very goofy, but it's just a little goofy to me. I think it is the hair. There's just something about this helmet that doesn't look as cool as it does on Midna. I can't really articulate it well. All I know is that there is something missing in the attitude that comes with Midna. I think a lot of it is just Midna herself. If you've played Twilight Princess, then you know. She is, in and of herself, a force to be reckoned with. And I think a lot of her personality goes into her design. The form she's in when she's wearing this helmet is very impish, right? She looks like a little baby, honestly. The helmet kind of goes to help her look mysterious and mystical, but on Link, it just kind of looks heavy. I think that's what bothers me. It looks really heavy on Link. Like, it looks like his neck should snap sideways.
We've come up with a camera so tiny it fits into this oversized novelty hat. Now, go get us some incriminating footage, and remember, You have to get in and out in 10 minutes, or you'll suffer permanent neck damage.
He's not kidding.
Sorry, Midna's helmet. I feel like you should be higher or lower or whatever. I feel like you shouldn't be in the goofy category at all, but you are in a little goofy. Blame the hair. And the fact that it looks so damn heavy. We're now on to a personal favorite of mine, the Champion's Leathers. This is going to be the first, and I believe only, piece of armor in this entire ranking list that's gonna go in the super serial tier. This could be my bias showing, but not only does this make him look not silly or goofy at all, but also it makes him look official, in my opinion. It's like, yeah, he's a knight and he has the correct colors on and all of that, but he's also prepared. He's got all of this gear on, the, ooh, I know the word for this. Pauldron, I wanna say it is. This pauldron makes him look really official, the gauntlets, it ties together so well, and it makes him look like he's ready for battle. I mean, the fact that he's pantsless definitely takes away from the image, but when he goes into battle, he is wearing pants, so that's something.
Where are my pants?
So the next pieces of armor I want to talk about are the earrings and circlets in the game, and I'm just going to say right now I'm putting all of these in the not goofy at all category. I love every piece of jewelry in this game, but I don't want to just skim over this section because I know a lot of people love the jewelry too, so I'm just going to talk about what I like about it in each one. Now, unfortunately, in order to zoom in better on these bad boys and get a better look at them, I have to put on clothes, because otherwise I will get put in jail. The Gerudo ladies are very mean to me. And they don't like seeing my glorious naked body.
What's wrong with them?
Just for this time. Because of course I have to stand in front of the jewelry store if I'm going to talk about the jewelry. Obviously. The topaz earrings are one of the only pair of earrings I have a very minor complaint about, the other being the amber earrings, and my complaint is that they should be switched in design. The topaz earrings are meant to be shock resistant, which I think would be better reflected by the amber earrings' spiky design. That being said, that's a minor complaint. I still think that both the topaz and amber earrings, as they are very cool. I really do appreciate how they look on Link. He puts his hair back just so that we can see his beautiful, beautiful earrings. See, this is him without earrings on. Getting a little stretch in. And this is him with earrings on. He ties his hair back just so we can get a better view. But of course he does have to keep the front hanging face framers. Obviously.
Well, obviously, yeah.
The opal earrings are probably my favorite of all of the earrings. I don't know why. I think they're just the prettiest. I think maybe those are what I would go for in real life if I had to choose between the three. I think they just have the coolest design of all of the earrings, in my opinion. But that's not saying much because I truly do think all of the earrings have merit to them. I think all of the earrings are very coolly designed. I said I only had one minor complaint, but I have one other minor complaint, which is that Link's glorious, gorgeous hair blocks the glorious, gorgeous circlets just a little bit. Like, you can't really see the ruby right now. And that's a bummer, because the ruby is kind of, the main part of the ruby circlet.
What?
That being said, I think it's really cool that all of the circlets have their own identity to them. The ruby circlet is by far the most unique though, because it's the only one that has a leather strap instead of, a more traditional metal banding for the head wear. The ruby circlet is meant to keep you warm, and therefore I think it's supposed to be reminiscent of warmer climates, right? It's supposed to remind you of warmer climates to keep you warm in colder climates. Also, apparently the ruby has magic to do that too. Who knew? Meanwhile, the sapphire circlet is more delicate and more ice princess. It makes me think of Elsa a little bit.
Let it go, let it go.
It definitely has a more icy feel to it, which makes sense because it's the cooling effect one. So I really do think that they were able to match the vibe of the circlet with what its power is, and I appreciate that. My personal favorite is the diamond circlet. I think that's probably just because I'm a bougie bitch, but it's also, I think, because of the cool leaf effect that it's got going. There is a term for that I can't think of off the top of my head. Editor Me will have it again. She's so much better than I am.
It's true.
The diamond circlet was my go-to in Breath of the Wild because it offered protection against the Guardians, which were the big bads in Breath of the Wild, if you didn't know. And in this game, it just offers higher attack points. So I still use it as my go-to because I like higher attack points. So, you know, I think that's a great bonus too. In fact, allow me to show you my go-to outfit. We have the diamond circlet, the champion's leathers, and the fierce deity boots. That gives me a defensive 80 and attack up of 2, so that's pretty good, in my opinion. That is my go-to Tears of the Kingdom outfit. If I'm just gonna have one to wear, and I don't need it for any other special effects, that's what I'm gonna wear. Now you can wear it too. You can be just like me.
Dreams do come true.
Zant's helmet is one that I am so conflicted about because on the one hand, I do think it looks really cool, but on the other hand, I think it looks goofy. It's a struggle. Also in Twilight Princess, Zant is scary, but he also kind of looks like a fish. This mask makes him kind of look like a fish. A little bit. It's very fishy in certain places. And it makes me think of a fish for one and a screaming face for two, and combine those together, it just makes me put it in very goofy. I'm really sorry if you love Zant's helmet, because I'm sure that there are probably gonna be a few people that are like, hey, Zant's helmet is awesome, and you're right, it is awesome. Awesomely goofy. Here is another favorite of mine, something I am just now realizing I said quite a lot in this video, but whatever, it's true. Sheik's mask. If you've paid attention to anything I've said whenever I mention Ocarina of Time, then you know it's my favorite Zelda game. It was the one I played first when I was a child, and it's the one I will always love the most, and this is a character in Ocarina of Time. Now, despite the fact that the game is 26 years old, I won't be saying any more about who Sheik is. It's a big deal in the game, although most of us have figured it out. Anyway. What I will say is that I think it's really, really cool that we were able to get Sheik's mask in the game, and it gives us a stealth bonus, which I think is pretty cool and accurate. Sheik was always good at sneaking up on us in Ocarina of Time. I love the boy band vibes we get from the hair. I love the fact that most of the face is covered. It just, I don't know, it makes him look super secretive. And I even don't mind that one of his eyes is covered by hair, despite the fact that that's wildly inefficient. I just don't see it as being all that goofy in my mind. So, yeah, I'm putting it in the not goofy at all. And I think probably a little bit of that is nostalgia. I feel like I should put it in at least a little bit goofy if I'm being honest with myself, but I don't care. I like to lie to myself, and right now I've decided that it's not at all goofy.
I have spoken!
And now on to the real reason I made this tier list. I couldn't make a ranking video about clothing in this game and not talk about the CeCe hat. How could I resist the call of the CeCe hat? My absolute favorite thing in the game. Let's get the ranking out of the way right now. We all know that this is going in the highest one. This isn't a yuck if I've ever seen it. I absolutely adore this thing, but it is the goofiest fucking thing in the game. And I say that knowing full well that the Mask of Awakening is out there with its hilariously bulbous head. This, in my opinion, is goofier. I mean, it even puts lipstick on him. Like a Sailor Moon transformation. There is so much excess fabric and ruffling. There's feather-esque looks. That's not a feather. I don't know what that material is up there, but it's feather. You know, it looks like a Rito wing, if you ask me, and I know you did. And then it's got these mushroom-looking things on it. It's wild. This is truly wild. And then, of course, the earrings. his beautiful mushroom earrings. And to top it all off, it is completed by a pink, cover your eyes, Beatles haircut wig. This is a circa 2008 Justin Bieber haircut dyed pink, and I can't get enough of this. CeCe went above and beyond for us in every way possible, and I could not be more grateful for the atrocity that she created, that she blessed us all with. When we were in our darkest times, CeCe came through for us and said, "Oh, hold on, what if I made you a giant hat? Just the biggest fucking hat you've ever seen." And I said, "Yeah, okay."
And I am a proud hat owner.
The Tunic of Memories would have gone in the super cereal category if the Champion's Leathers didn't exist. But the Champion's Leathers makes the Tunic of Memories look like a joke. This is Breath of the Wild's equivalent to the Champion's Leathers, right? So this is what he wore in Breath of the Wild, and this was his official gear. But this is what he wears in Tears of the Kingdom as his official gear, and my god, does it just look so much more official. It just looks like a knight's outfit, especially since he's wearing chainmail on this one. And he is alarmingly lacking chainmail on the other one. Something I didn't notice in Breath of the Wild, but it's absolutely true. Where is your undershirt protection, my man?
That's so freaking unsafe.
That being said, just because he's not super cereal like his older brother doesn't mean that the Tunic of Memories is goofy at all. I just really don't think it is in the least. I think it's still pretty official looking, and I think it makes him look pretty cool, honestly. So I'm gonna put it in not goofy at all, and I'm happy with that. Again, it does look a little goofy if he's not wearing pants, but you know, that wasn't part of the criteria, is must be wearing pants.
I'm not gonna look over there until you first assure me you've got pants on.
It's not a rule unless there's a sign on the wall. I won that court case.
Last but certainly not least, we have the well-worn headband. This is just, it's a hair elastic. It's just to tie his hair back, and it is in no way goofy. It can't be. It genuinely can't be. There's no way around it. This is just him with his hair tied back. There's absolutely nothing goofy about it. I wish it offered any level of protection, but it doesn't, and that does make sense. Logically, it's just a hairband, what can you expect from it? But it does keep most of the hair off of his neck, so that's nice.
It's nice, I guess.
And there you have it, the ranking list of all of the armor pieces based on goofiness, but just the individual pieces, not the armor sets. Like I said, if you want to see the armor sets, go nuts. There's another video. I linked it. Have at it. This game never ceases to amaze me. It continues to be fun and exciting and hilarious and wonderful. If you have anything else that you want me to rank or comment on or any of that, let me know in the comments. And otherwise, if you made it this far, thank you so much for joining me today. I can't tell you how much I appreciate that. If you liked this video, hit that like button. If you hated this video, hit that dislike button. And either way, hit subscribe. Thanks so much. Bye-bye. I think he heard me. Oh, he definitely heard me. Oh god, he's making eye contact with me. Not anymore.
That is so dark.